Well, hi guys. Welcome back to episode 2 of season 2. And I know we've been on a bit of a streak. We were on like a 3-episode streak of in-person videos, but what can you do? You should actually tell us. Maybe I'll make a poll. Tell us if you're listening on Spotify. Do you care that it's online? Or do you prefer in person? I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Well, we are, as you know by the title, talking about Barbie.
You're
But
not wearing pink.
first,
Oh my gosh. Jess, you should be wearing pink.
you're not even wearing pink.
I have pink pants on. Dude, I'm representing.
We can't even see the pink pants, so
Okay, anyway.
before
Yeah.
we start, we're gonna do highs and lows of the week. But it's Tuesday, so I don't know how we do that. Highs and lows for the past 3 days.
Okay.
You go
We can do
first.
Well, I have a high. I don't really have a low this week again because I'm just so great. A high was it was a public holiday on Monday because of the ECA. And are you going to the ECA, by the way? No? You don't go. No. So we went to the beach and I drove. Oh my gosh. We went to Burley Heads and it was so fun. My mum. Oh, guys, I survived. I'm being dramatic, by the way. But I was driving and we just kind of got into Burley Heads. So it was quite hectic, especially on a public holiday. And then the car, I was just driving past and then the cars next to me didn't brake in time and crashed into the other person. And I'm just shoot. And then my mom's freaking out because she thought it was me. But it wasn't. And I stayed driving straight. How
Good
cool am
job.
I?
I've never seen an accident in person.
Really? What? Oh
Not
my God.
happen, in front of my eyes, you know?
Right, I see. Anyway, what is your...
Do you
I
have a
don't know.
low?
No, I don't.
Well, my low is I don't think I have a low either.
mean-
I mean it is only Tuesday.
Yeah. There's
Um,
worse things to come.
yeah. And then my high is probably that we saw Mamma Mia on Sunday.
How cool. Okay, tell us. Was it good?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit difficult to judge considering that I went to Hamilton 3 times before. And so in my head, I was comparing them, but you can't compare
No.
anything to Hamilton because they're just top notch. But it was good. I think that my one critique is that the Australian accents were kind of irritating. I don't know, I just expected them to for them to do the American accents.
Right.
Yeah. And it's almost like they made their accents even more strong. Because she was no. Literally, no.
so funny.
No.
That is funny.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my high.
That's good. Oh, I really want to go see it. Was the
There you
music?
go. There's lots of tickets that's still left.
Yeah. But I want the cheap ones. I want to try to get a discount. We'll see. We'll see how I go. God's got me. Anyway, so yes, we are talking about Barbie. I have no points. I forgot to write them down, but I'm gonna let Jess go
Okay,
because
listen, I don't have any points either. I only have points for the intro of the movie. like the scene,
Okay,
the
let's
opening
talk
scene.
about it.
But first, let's just do a quick summary of the Barbie movie itself before we
Yeah.
do a deep dive. Cool.
Okay. Okay, there is a Barbie, and I'm not good at this. Okay, so Barbie is, oh my gosh, by the way, I've seen it 3 times and I still can't really summarize it. Um, so yes, there's a Barbie, and then she starts to have a crisis of her own. She starts thinking about depressing thoughts, and then Weird Barbie is like, you need to go find this child who is playing with you that's making you depressed. And then she goes into the real world with Ken, and then they find out, spoiler alert, that it's an adult playing with Barbie.
And they also find out that the real world is not what they thought.
Yeah. Quite male energy.
Mm.
And yeah, and then stuff happens.
It
This
gets
is like
to
the
Ken's head. He goes back to Barbie Land. He makes Mojo Dojo Casa House. And he's like, welcome to Kendom. And Barbie's like, oh my gosh, how dare you kick out the Barbies and make it all about the Kens. And then they fight. And then they reverse the brainwash. And then everything's back to normal. Except they help the Kens a little bit. They get the Kens more involved.
Yeah.
With the community.
Yeah.
A little bit of a summary, but I also before wanted to talk about Greta Gerwig specifically first. And also, just like what, last week they hit 1 billion.
What?
Greta is making that bucks. They hit 1 billion, and she was the first ever female solo director to hit 1 billion.
Oh, how cool. Oh my gosh.
Did you know she co-wrote it with her husband?
Yeah.
That's so fun. And I didn't know her husband, he wrote oh my gosh, one of the Madagascars. He also wrote
How random.
I don't know if it was Grand Budapest Hotel or if it was one of the Wes Anderson in-person movies, and then also Fantastic Mr. Fox. And I would just like to say, yeah.
No, Fantastic Mr. Fox is like from a book. Is it not?
There's still writers, Trinity. You can't have a movie without writers.
Yeah, right.
I am a very big fan of Greta.
What?
If I could find movie posters of any Greta Gerwig movies that is not over $30, then it would be on my wall.
You're pointing at Stranger Things and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Okay, guys, they were on sale at JU Hi-Fi for $10 each, so I bought it. But you know what? If there was Little Women, if there was Lady Bird, if there was like her like trash debut of Nights and Weekends, it would be on my wall. But I can't find them anywhere except for Amazon. And they cost so much money, so anyway. Greta has a specific style to her movies, and I was a little bit concerned of how she would have that style in Barbie, because Barbie's so different to her first 2 movies. And when I say first 2, I'm referring to Lady Bird and Little Women, not Nights and Weekends, because we don't talk about that. Okay? A lot of her movies focus on a character's relationship with their mum. I'd suspect Greta had, what do they say? Mommy issues.
You think?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, have you watched Lady Bird?
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
like literally the whole movie is about Lady Bird's relationship with
Yeah.
her interesting mother. And then Little Women, though it really focuses on the four sisters, the
But the
family
mom's still
relationships. Hmm?
in Little Women. The mom's still nice.
Yeah,
Like they don't.
but it still focuses on their relationship, specifically Joe's relationship with her mum. And then obviously in Barbie now, we have human characters. Obviously, it's very much focused on
That was so sweet. I loved that.
yeah. And then obviously female lead. That's consistent with all of her movies. The specific styles in her previous movies that is not in a Barbie movie because her previous movies were to mumblecore genre, which is like I don't know if you know mumblecore. That's like when you have a movie that has like a decent budget, but it's filmed in a way that makes it look like it's low budget. So she
Right.
does that with Lady Bird and Little Women, but obviously $100 million budget, you won't really be able to do that. And it's Barbie, so it's gonna look high
Yeah.
budget anyway.
Yeah. It
Um,
has.
what?
It has to be.
Yeah.
Like the amount of paint. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Okay, now we can talk about the movie.
Okay. Amazing. Um. Look, I've seen it 3 times. The first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know. I went in with like low expectations because I thought, oh my gosh, they like made it to look like this amazing thing by all like the money they spent on like putting it out there, I guess, like all the premieres or like the different things. Like in
The
Brisbane, there was a bus
promotion.
stop. Yeah, there was a bus stop just full of Barbie stuff. So I was like, you know what? I think I don't know. It could just be really hypened by that. Um, so I went in. I was like, yeah, it was okay movie, and then
Trinity, you did not say that after the first time.
okay,
I'm
but then I
telling
went.
you, Trinity, after the movie, I turned to Trinity and she's like, oh my
It was
gosh, that was
good.
so good.
It was good.
You did not say that was an okay movie.
Yes,
You were
but it
like,
was
wow, that
good.
was so good.
Yes, it was good. But
I
then I
said
was,
movie of the decade, and I
yeah, you
still
did.
stand by that.
Yeah. But I've seen it like 2 other times now, and I feel like they were better watching it the other times because I could actually like soak it in because there was a lot of people in that cinema.
I
Oh my
love
God.
that.
It was nice. It was good.
Yeah, and it
But
was just so much women. Maybe there were like 10 guys in there.
so after the Lizzo song and then she what happens? Oh yeah, they have a massive dance party. That was so
Yeah.
cool. I
And you
loved
know,
that.
I forget that when like artists write songs for movies, they write it after the movie's been made, which is so crazy.
Really?
Yeah. They
Oh
were
my God.
all like Dua Lipa, Billie Eilish, they were all shown the scene and they were told
Right.
like, can you write a song for this scene?
That's
Which
so
was so cool.
cool.
I know.
I
I
could
think that's
never.
super cool.
Wow.
Um,
That's cool. Also, before the dance, you know how Ken's running towards the beach and he gets hurt and all that, and
yeah.
the ambulance out. That was so funny. But I just loved the ambulance and how it looked like a toy. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I just loved all of that kind of stuff. They
Hmm.
really thought about it, like what Barbie would do. Like it was awesome. Oh, loved it.
Yeah. And then they do the dance. I'm trying to learn the dance.
Are you actually?
Mm.
It's good.
Because I've got nothing better to do with my time, pretty much. Um, then
Then she has thoughts of death.
yes,
When
sorry.
she's dancing.
Forgot. That's the main
Um,
part of the movie.
and everyone's like, "What?" And I loved how like the lights flickered and like, oh, it was just such a great scene. I love that scene. I loved Ken in that scene. Also, favorite character, probably Ken. Sorry to say. But
What the
yeah,
heck?
I did. He's my favorite character. I'm sorry, but he was so good.
I'd say I don't think I have a favorite character. All the Barbies, the two humans,
Right.
none of the Kens.
I loved Alan and Ken. They were like
I
favorite.
loved Alan, not Ken. I mean, Ken was funny, but
Ken
that's
was
all he
relatable.
was.
He was relatable.
Did you ever have a Ken doll when you were little?
Yeah, definitely. Did you?
Not definitely. Most people did not. I didn't have a Ken doll.
What?
Not once was I ever in the shop and I was like, Mom, can you buy me a Ken doll, please?
Really? Oh my
And,
gosh.
and
You
it's so
kind of
funny.
right?
Why?
But like the story, because mine would be like, oh, Ken, you know, like the story.
No, my Barbie was a single independent woman.
Good on you.
But it's so funny in kids' church, they in their bucket of toys, they have a Ken doll and he has no arms and legs. And I just thought that was so funny because that's how just Kens are treated. Didn't Ryan Gosling say that he only accepted the role after he saw his daughter's Ken doll lying in the mud next to a squashed lemon peel? And
He has
was
a
like,
daughter.
yeah. And he was like, I'm
I'm
gonna play
sorry.
Ken. That was not the point of what I was telling the story, Trinity.
Okay, yes, I got the story, but I didn't know he had a daughter. He has a and he's married. What?
Most people are married. Like, I didn't even know Margot Robbie was married
Yeah,
until
Margot.
she was talking about her husband. I'm like, oh my gosh. Insane.
Child. Sorry, I'm invested. This man, he's like one of the sweetest men. Oh my gosh, he has a daughter. Wait, he has two? Anyway,
Okay.
that's cool. That's good to know. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the whole point, like the whole premise of the movie, the whole reason why Ken acts like that and is treated like that is because most of the time kids couldn't care less about their Ken dolls if they even had one. You know? But yeah, Barbie's losing her mind and then she has to go to Weird Barbie. Maybe Weird Barbie's my favorite Barbie.
That was funny.
Yeah,
She's
I
a bit
never
weird.
had. That's the whole point.
Yeah, she's
She's
just
literally called Weird Barbie.
yeah. Just some of
Um,
the say I was like, interesting. Yeah.
yeah, and she says you have to go to the real world and fix things with the girl who's playing with you, and she goes to the real world. Ken is losing his mind because he's like, oh my gosh, there's men and horses everywhere. Right? He thought that the patriarchy was to do with horses.
Horses and men.
Probably because he can't read, and so the books he was getting from the library probably had photos of horses and men.
Yeah.
Together.
It's so funny. It was just so over exaggerated. It was just perfect. I loved it.
Yeah. And then so obviously Barbie has a lot of social commentary that is hard to miss. And some people love it, some people, aka men, don't love it. I love being on Facebook and like seeing all the posts. Barbie is so misogynistic and it's making all women who watch the movie hate men. Do you really think a movie is just gonna make us hate men? I mean, I already had strong opinions about men before I entered the movie, and maybe the Barbie movie just confirmed that for me. I don't know. But I don't think every single person who walked into the Barbie movie walked out being like, I hate men. Screw men, you know? I think people are a bit ridiculous. I think after many, many years, you look at old movies and how, especially in like old thriller movies, crime, all of that stuff, it's always a male protagonist, a male antagonist, and then a female accomplice, however you say that word, who the male protagonist has to defend because she's helpless and she's like, help me, I don't know how to fight and I don't know how to shoot this gun, help me defend myself. And finally, we get a movie where we've got a female lead. I mean, the antagonist isn't even a man, it's just an idea, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think Ken is the antagonist. I don't think the people who work for Mattel are the antagonists. I just think, let's say, the patriarchy just as a whole, which I suppose that's why men hate it. Because the patriarchy is represented as the antagonist. Anyway.
Because it is.
Yeah. One movie. Just give us one movie where we're like, we feel empowered to be women. You know? And the movie, it wasn't really made for you guys. Like, how can you make a movie for, like, a Barbie movie? The movie is called Barbie. It's, like, it has nothing to do with you, you know?
Very
Unless
true.
you were a little boy who played with Barbies, which nothing's wrong with that. Then I think,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I think for those people that are like going, there was too many like women like empowerment, like it's like saying you're gonna go see Oppenheimer and go come out and be like, oh my gosh, they talk too much about bombs. It's like, I'm sorry? Like, wait, what?
Did you watch Oppenheimer?
No.
Yeah,
haven't.
I have no interest in watching it.
I really want to see it, but I'll go by myself. It's fine. But yeah, it's just annoying. Like, come on, grow up or just don't watch it. You know
Yeah,
what?
don't watch it. You don't need to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, guarantee those men who are trashing on the Barbie movie had no interest in watching it until they heard that it was man hating. Then they were like, oh, I have to see this so I can hate on it. But guaranteed they had no interest in watching it initially. Because it's not for them. It's not for them. See, I don't understand how people can say that it's not misogynistic, sorry, I'm using the wrong word. Misandrist. People saying that it's misandrist, which is the
What is that?
misogynist is when it's man hating woman. No, a man who doesn't like women. Misandrist is a woman who doesn't like men.
Right.
People are saying that it's a misandrist movie, and that is
That's
a real word, Kennedy.
So funny. It's just so funny. Miss Sanders.
Yeah.
Never heard it.
But I don't understand how they're saying that because the last scene, I think there's a really nice scene between Barbie and Ken. When Ken is like distraught that Barbie,
Yeah.
why is he distraught? I don't even know.
Because she's not like anyone without Barbie.
Yeah. And she's telling him that you need to like learn who you are and you're not your girlfriend. You're Ken. You're not Barbie and Ken. You're Ken. And I think that that's great for all guys to hear.
It is.
Because I think it can be easy for guys to be like, I need to find a girlfriend. I'm on like that cutie love letter thing on Facebook, and it's so sad the amount of desperation that guys have for wanting girlfriends.
Yeah.
Live by yourself,
Yeah.
You don't need a girlfriend to, I don't know, make you happy.
And then by the end, he's got the shirt saying, I'm Ken enough,
Yeah,
and
I'm Kenough.
I'm Ken.
You are Kenough. To all the men
Another
watching.
thing I loved, probably my favorite scene was the Kens battle. Oh my God.
Mm.
How much thought and
See,
detail that you can pick up from that scene. There's people in the background that you don't notice. There's like, oh, and like my mom, she obviously picked this up more than me, but like all the old dance moves they were doing, like when they got obviously transported to that room where they were doing those weird dance moves, um, it's like from this really old movie, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So it was all like 80s kind of, vibe, and oh,
mm-hmm.
it was cool. I just loved it. It was such a good
Oh my
scene.
gosh. See, the cinema that we were in with the selection of people, the first time we watched it, best crowd of people because that was the day before it premiered. So obviously it's gonna be the people who like genuinely have been waiting to watch this. When I
Yeah.
went and watched it with my mum, the cinema was full, but the people were so lame. Like, I feel like I was the only one laughing for things. I think for that fighting scene, there was like initial laughter and then no more laughter for the rest of the scene,
Yeah.
which made it like not as funny, you know? But
Yeah.
I found it really funny when they were advertising Depression Barbie. I
Yeah.
thought that was quite funny.
It was. It was so good. It was really good. For anyone that's wondering, like guys, I guess, if you're watching this, or girls that have seen Endgame, like in the cinemas, if you guys have seen how like great it was, if you went to see Endgame, that's what it was like. Like everyone was interacting, like it was awesome. Like it was such a
Hmm.
good, oh yeah. But the other times everyone's just,
Yeah.
not good.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
definitely think though this movie and even Oppenheimer is like saving cinema because
Yeah,
for a very
definitely.
long time, I think since COVID and since they were putting out movies and they were automatically putting it on streaming platforms, people didn't care about the movies. And even after, they would be like, no, I'm not going to go to the movies because it's going to be available to stream in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think this movie and Oppenheimer has definitely brought back cinema.
Yeah.
And I love seeing, like, even now, even though it's been weeks since the movie's come out, I'm still seeing people dressing up in pink to go watch it. And it's
Yeah.
so nice. And seeing little girls with their mums and their grandmas and they're all dressed in pink. The dad's even dressed in pink. I love it. So her little monologue that she did, um,
Yes. Oh
the
my God.
monologue that, yeah,
It was amazing.
um, there's like articles about it because it
Oh,
was so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so she says, it is literally impossible to be a woman. And then she goes off on this whole big thing about how women does like we do everything to try and get people to like us. And when you think about it, do guys really have to do anything? I saw this TikTok of like, I mean, it had nothing to do with the Barbie movie. It was just these two guys doing like a skit on how it is to make friends in a new school. And they were showing for guys and then for girls. And for the guys, it was just like, hey, I'm new. Like, can I hang out with you guys? And they're like, yeah, sure, let's go kick a ball in the oval. And then for the girls, like, she's like, hey, I'm new. Can I hang out with you guys? And they're like, sure. And then immediately they start like trashing her behind her back and saying like, how dare she come and sit with us and what the heck, who does she think she is and blah blah blah. And like, it's so
so
true.
true. Yeah.
Like, what are they like? I hate to, compare guys and girls, but that's what I'm gonna do. Guys
Hmm.
don't have to make that much of an effort to be liked.
Yeah.
At least I think. And even thinking back to when I was in school, I've never thought about it. I've never ever seen a guy sitting by himself. at school ever. I don't
No.
want to like, you know,
Yeah. But it's
not to
true.
discount the guys who struggle with making friends because that's obviously very real, but for the most part, I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever seen a guy sitting by himself during lunchtime or in class. They always have friends. And the people
Yeah.
who I see by themselves are girls.
Yeah. That
And
makes
it's
it
true
so.
because, yeah, they
Yeah.
say men hate women and women hate women, which is also true. Because at the end of the day, when girls can't make friends with other girls, it's the girl's fault. The girls who don't want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
So it is women versus women and men versus women.
Yep. Very true.
Yeah.
But no, it was just such a great scene. Like when she decides to become a human. And but the thing is, for the kids that did go see it and the ending, at like she goes and like she sees her gynecologist, they wouldn't understand that. Like that wouldn't have been a great ending if I was a kid. I would have been like,
Mm-hmm.
what? Like, huh? So I think maybe they could have done like a kidia ending. I don't know. Like it is for
Video.
yeah, just something that the kids could understand.
Okay, I have an
I think that
explanation.
would have been
Um,
okay.
Obviously there is multiple different interpretations, and that's what movies are. They're always up for interpretation. But somebody said about the gynecologist part,
Yeah.
um, blah blah blah, because everyone automatically assumed she was going for a job interview, but she was really going to the gynecologist. And they're saying that she's taking that step into humanhood. For now, she doesn't need to be that ambitious doll that has every job and the responsibility and the pressure to be this inspiration to all girls. She's just going to the doctor. And that is the most plain and simple human experience that so many women and people share. And it's a beautiful growth from Barbie to Barbara.
That's true. That is true. That's a good way of looking at it.
Somebody said about how the whole movie is supposed to symbolize going from a girl to a woman. Um, Barbie Land is what our childhood felt like. We were safe, naive, and everything seemed perfect. And then the real world is what womanhood feels like. And it's scary, and there's pain, and we are faced with so many challenges while still being held to unrealistic expectations by society. And then also that quote where um, Gloria says, "We mothers stand still so our daughters can look back to see how far they've come." You remember that?
Yeah.
And they're saying that as we get older, we see and understand sacrifices our grandmothers and mothers made. They walked so we could run.
That's so deep. That makes me want to be depressed. What
Mm-hmm.
the heck? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Jeez
and
Louise.
then somebody said, I mean, people are so annoying in the comments, but someone said, I feel like no man will ever fully understand the story of the Barbie movie, which is true because, I mean, a lot of guys got the meaning, but what they're saying is what it feels like to grow up and slowly realize that men are always looking at you not as a friend, but as a body to objectify. And when they stop looking at your face and start looking down when you're speaking, when you walk into any room or share anything and all the men laugh or make a sexist joke and they all laugh while you're on the verge of tears, it's not just a feeling that can be replicated unless you felt that sinking feeling of your heart going into your stomach. And obviously a lot of the guys are like, no, but we got that's what the movie meant. But like you don't understand, you know?
Yeah, like I'm glad people are taking like their understanding because there are some guys out there that like aren't understanding. They're like, what the heck? So for the people that
Mm-hmm.
are, it's like cool. But like again, like of course, like we'll never know what guys go through. And like the same as, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one thing to get what it means. It's another thing to actually,
Live it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I watched the Barbie movie, I never had any experiences that I was like, but then I did. And now I'm like, oh, yeah, I get that. I get it. So someone said my mum didn't like the ending of the Barbie movie until my dad said, which I think is quite interesting. It's for the new generation to see that they no longer need to dream about having the career/life that they want, like the creator of Barbie did. It's no longer a dream. That's why Barbie made the decision to go to the real world, because women can now decide what they want to do with their life. Which is nice.
That is nice. That is nice.
Yeah.
But finally that the dad had to say it for her to understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Gosh.
think that's quite interesting. But yeah.
Okay,
Tell
what
me,
would
are we please?
Are you gonna rate the movie?
5 out of 5. If you guys have me on Letterboxd, then you would know that I give it a 5 out of 5. And listen, I've gone onto your Letterboxd, Trinity, and I think that you are too harsh. If I like a movie and I can't think of anything that's like immediately gonna knock it down, then it's automatically a 5 out of 5. If I enjoy it and I can't think of something, there's not something at the back of my mind where I'm like, ooh, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't usually use Letterboxd anyway. So, but anyway, do you have a fact?
Yes. Oh, here's a fun fact. It's
Okay.
actually a wild fact. Barbie was inspired by an R-rated German doll called Lily.
What?
The doll was known for dressing provocatively, gold digging, and saying saucy things to men. And the doll was first marketed to adult men as sort of a joke gift. But then kids started buying it.
What?
Oh my gosh. And then Ruth spotted one of those Lily dolls in Switzerland, and she bought 3 and used them as inspiration to create Barbie.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's a cool fact. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
That was great review on Barbie. We will see you for the next episode. Oh my gosh. Dog appearance. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We'll see you in 2 weeks time, because we post fortnightly now.
Whoa. Yeah, we don't know what we're gonna do yet. We'll think about it, but it will be good. Tune in.
Yes, but we do know.
Okay,
It's a
sure.
surprise.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
bye everyone.
Bye.